Hey, edgelords, thanks so much for tuning in on your internet tuner. We want you to hit subscribe. Isn't that right, Robby?
That's right. That way you'll get the episodes as they come out every single Wednesday.
You need it, and you want it.
Oh,
Yep.
oh my God.
How you feeling today, Graham?
I was bad, but now I'm good. You know why?
Tell me why.
Because it's time for Edgelords.
Yes. Yeah, okay, no, that's too intense. You're just staring at it. You're gritting your teeth a little bit. It seems like you might hurt yourself. Graham, take a breath.
I wet myself.
Take a breath. Oh, God. Oh, this couch is a rental. It's a problem.
Did you rented this couch from Fuck Couch?
Yes,
One of our old sponsors.
One of our greatest sponsors.
Yes.
Big fans of Fuck Couch
Fuck
over
Couch.
here. Yes,
Yeah.
and it came mostly clean.
It's a former couch used in
the
pornos.
porn in the San Fernando
Valley porn industry
specifically. Yeah,
and it's funny because it's a pull out couch, yet they never pulled it out
They
to
never did.
have sex on the mattress part.
they never did, but ultimately, that porn did have a lot of pulling out nonetheless. you know?
Hey. Ho!
But it wasn't the couch.
Someone's
Hello,
had
everybody.
his coffee today.
It sure has.
This week in edging.
I'm a little tired myself. I have just gotten back from a week on the road. Actually, 2 weeks on the road, and I've just been eating. I was in the South for the first time, and I've been eating a lot of pulled pork sandwiches.
Oh, those are great. I don't eat pork anymore. I don't eat beef anymore. But one of the things I miss is a pulled pork sandwich.
I stay away from red meat and the other white meat, which is what I call Italians.
That was such a sneaky move by the Pig Farmers
Yes.
Association to be like, pork, it's chicken.
Yeah,
basically.
it's healthy.
It's
But I don't eat. But unless it's happening,
yeah,
if it's a thing, I will eat it.
sure.
And I was in a place where they do it specially, and I've been eating a lot. And in 2 weeks, I gained 10 pounds.
You gained 10 pounds in 2 weeks.
I can lose weight and gain weight very easily, and I also was drinking a lot and not exercising.
Yeah, I can gain weight very easily. The
Yeah.
losing part is the challenge.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Have you lost any of that 10 so far?
I just got back. I don't think so.
No excuse.
I've had a lot of bagels.
Yeah,
Not
you're
good.
back in New York City.
Yeah.
You eat whatever the regional specialty is. You're in the South, you're having pulled pork. You're back in New York, it's bagel time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Had any
It's
pizza?
tough. Yeah, I've had pizza.
Yeah. You really
I had
living.
pizza so bland in my neighborhood the other day. I tried it.
In Brooklyn, New York?
That's right. And it was so bland, I thought I had COVID. I was scared. I was going to meet people, and I'm
Yeah.
vaccinated. I'm like, man, I guess I'm that 5%.
Yeah.
I ate 2 slices, and it didn't taste like anything. I
From where?
was going to cancel going to a friend's house.
Because you thought you had COVID because the pizza was that bad.
So I stopped at a bodega, like a corner store, deli, and I bought gum
Yeah.
and a drink
Just to test.
to test my buds.
Yeah.
And I tasted them fine. Everything was fine.
Your buds were okay.
And then I went to my friend's house and they had a cheese spread, and I like cheese, and I ate quite a bit of cheese.
Sure. Where was this pizza from? Let's take this place down.
Tony's Pizza on Graham Avenue. No relation to me because it's an avenue.
Tony's in Greenpoint?
Yeah.
I like their pizza.
Yeah, across from the other pizza place.
Wait, across from what other pizza place? I know it is this is too dumb to get into on a podcast.
Okay. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's Tony's. They got there's a middle-aged Italian guy in a tracksuit that I think runs it, that is hanging out in front of it all the time, and he always smiles, and he's always got cigars, and he's like a neighborhood guy. I still live in an Italian neighborhood. There's still vestiges of The Sopranos, Brooklyn, in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that guy is one of those guys, and he's definitely playing it up. He's definitely wearing he watches Sopranos, and he's like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I
hey.
also don't know if those guys are playing it up or if that's just what they are.
I have no idea
I think
what's
that's
going
just who they are.
Yeah, well, this guy, he's got a cigar, matching tracksuit, a slick back hair, obese, sitting in a plastic chair that will snap.
Yeah.
It's just the legs
Just
are
waiting
bowed.
to. They're doing a lot of work.
They're doing a lot of work. And he's just hey, how you doing? Like a friendly guy.
Yeah,
talks to talks to everyone when they come by, and I like it. So
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
like a
I want to
neighborhood guy.
support this guy's pizzeria, but it didn't taste like
Too bland.
Carmine's is the one across the street.
I think I'm thinking of a different place.
Maybe it's not Tony's, but I think it's Tony's.
There's going to be a lot
They're
of
all the
Tony's in
same.
the area. A lot of Tony's pizza
Italians.
places. Is it on the like less cool side of McGinnis? Is
It's
it
not on
there?
McGinnis. It's on Graham.
On Graham, but like in Greenpoint, like but not on the side where like McCarran and all this stuff is on the other side.
On the less cool where I
Yes.
live. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's Tony's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like their pizza.
Oh, I did. Maybe it was an off day. Maybe I have COVID. Maybe
also
now
we
you-
order from there and then it comes like 2.5 hours freezing cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're not great at delivery.
You
but
order from
I like
there?
the taste. Yeah, sometimes.
All the way up here?
It's not far. It's about 12 minutes.
I guess so.
Yeah. But if it were like if I was judging by how long it takes to get the pizza,
Right.
I would say it's 130 miles away from my house. But I like it, and I like
It
to
is
know
in
that
Saskatchewan.
Tony is out there on his folding chair.
Yeah, it's not folding.
Or just plastic.
Yeah.
He's making it into a
He's
folding
making it
chair.
into a
It will
folding
be
chair.
folding. Well, it sounds like both Tony and you, with your fresh 10 pounds, could use a new way to work out and shred
God.
some weight.
You're fucking good, dude.
And this is,
Yeah.
can you believe it? What are the odds that today's ad is about exactly that?
Yes.
Why don't you tell the folks about this new sponsor we're excited to have?
Very excited. Folks, today we're excited to bring you Power Blast Core Explosion, a program of highest intensity workouts for people looking to undo a lifetime of unhealthy decisions in under a week.
That's right. And their real world workouts can be done at any moment in your everyday life, making trips to the gym a thing of the past.
Power Blast Core Explosion's revolutionary workouts include
Punching holes in drywall,
yelling at your father,
push-ups and squats at the same time,
sprinting by your ex's house,
stealing a tip jar from a coffee shop, or ramp up the intensity by stealing it from a butcher shop,
bench press your daughter,
deadlift a coffin at a funeral,
go to IKEA with a surrogate girlfriend who will make you look for a pencil, test drawers, sit on the couches, and pronounce shelves Klumflagen.
Klumflagen,
Klimflagen.
Klumflagen,
Klagflugen.
Klumflagen,
Klamflugen.
Klumflagen,
Klagenflugen.
Klagenflugen.
Flagenflagen.
I can feel the burn already.
Power Blast Core Explosion, the unhealthiest way to get healthy.
Okay.
That's a good business.
That's a good business.
Good business model.
Yeah, we're happy to support them. A lot of these workouts are workouts I was just doing anyway.
You're right.
So I'm happy that now they're part of a system.
Yes, you've had a girlfriend for a long time. You've moved in with a girlfriend. So I imagine you've done the IKEA one before.
Yes, we've done the IKEA one.
High
a couple of
intensity
times.
endurance
Very high
training.
intensity. Yes.
Yeah, and you've ran by your ex's house.
Every night. I sprint by my ex's house.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It's how I stay so svelte.
Yeah, you've been doing it. You've been dating Casey a long time.
Sure have.
You've been doing this over a decade,
Yes,
running by this poor woman's house.
Many years. I feel bad about it,
Yeah.
but it keeps me young. All right. I think we're ready for a guest. Do
Oh,
you?
I'm excited.
I am too. Fantastic guest. Let's bring him on.
Let's bring him on.
We got a big guest, and I'm excited about it.
Very excited. We have a bonus little side guest as well today.
I see that.
For you audio listeners, our guest is holding a cute little dog. Today we have Mike Kosta. He has done comedy on all of the late night shows. He's currently a correspondent on Comedy Central's The Daily Show, and you can watch his latest special, Detroit, New York, LA, on Comedy Central and Paramount Plus.
Guest Lord, welcome, Daddy.
Michael Kosta.
Michael Kosta, everybody.
I didn't know what you were pressing, but thank you. And didn't even ask me for an introduction. And Graham, you knocked it out. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, well,
We have we spend $36,000 a month on research.
Yes.
On this podcast.
Yes.
And we regret it. We
on
deeply
Fiverr.
regret
There
it.
is so many people we're paying on Fiverr. We are employing
yes.
a third of India.
Yeah, but most of Bangladesh is on
Yes.
our payroll.
Yes. Well, we like to start the podcast with something called the edgy lightning round. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I don't think anything can prepare me for edgy lightning round, but I'm willing and able to join in.
All right. Well, we're going to assess you for edge between 1 and 5 kettlebells.
That's right.
So we're going to need you to be at your edgiest. You're already kind of down a point for holding the unbelievably adorable Shih Tzu, I believe. But I think you can make that up. So here we go, off to the races.
Here we go.
Lightning round. It's electric.
Okay, Michael Kosta, we are going to start you off with the Holy Trinity, something we ask every guest.
Yep.
What is your favorite drug, cigarette brand, and alcohol? And you have to have an answer for all three.
Drug would be anything that sends the heart rate up, not down, up. Okay, there you go. I think you can figure that one out for yourself. Cigarette brand. Newports have been in the news lately because of the menthol thing.
That's right.
They're trying to ban menthol, but I'm a big fan of menthol, and I used to smoke menthols in the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase bathroom when I was like 12 or 13.
Cool.
Oh, that's very edgy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's edgy.
Preteen
That's edgy.
menthols.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the alcohol brand. I'm a beer guy. I love that old brewery, the German brewery, Weihenstephaner. Do you know that beer?
No, I think
No.
you just made that up. I'm confident you just
No.
made that up on the spot.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You just,
It's the oldest brewery in the world according to their bottle.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Stella Artois, they claim like 1366 or something crazy because they sell it
They've
in
been making-
7-Eleven, so it just feels like, I don't believe you.
They've been making European soccer louts beat up strangers
Yes,
since the 14th century.
Since time immemorial,
Yeah.
yes.
It is true as an American, Europe, anything European, they can just say like any age and we'll be like, it's got to be true
Sounds
because
right to me.
we're
Sounds-
only 100 years.
Yeah.
We're only 100 years old.
Yeah.
Well, that was a real journey, the three answers, because you started out very, you're a white man.
Yeah, that is correct.
You're like me. You're like just just straight down the pipe white man. And you went with menthol, which was a real curveball. And I was like, oh, there's a little more to him.
There's a little more going on here.
And then you followed up with exactly what your face looks like in beer.
yes.
Yeah.
It's got the ring of a beer that you not only
The
have you not-
aristocracy.
Not only have you not heard of it, you couldn't possibly afford it
No.
if you had. Have you tried Heffenschmeidenweiser?
As I was even saying the name of that beer, I was aware of what was coming after.
Sure.
But you asked me to be truthful on this podcast, and I'm not going to come on a podcast and tell fibs.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your
You don't want to
honesty.
come on anything and lie.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Michael. What is your best tat? And you have to have one.
I have to have a hat. I have a great tattoo. Can you hear the vacuum behind me now?
Yes.
I do, yes.
Great. So that's just part of home production, folks. And
You're an employer. You're employing people.
yeah, and if you think that there isn't something edgy about employing other people to clean your home, well, you don't get what edge
You
is.
don't know Edge.
You
yeah.
don't know edge.
Yeah.
I have a wonderful tattoo that spans from the left back shoulder to the right back shoulder. And a lot of people says it looks like hair, but I call it more of a tat.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Very cool.
Wow,
It's just
that
sort of
is cool.
individual black bits of ink
Protruding from your body.
protruding,
And-
which is hard. That's a lot of
That's a
ink.
lot of ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not in any sexy pattern. It's as the vacuum gets louder.
Yeah, a lot of back hair tattoos are in a sexy pattern, but you decided not to do that.
I decided not to do that. And you tell me if I should mute myself or stop down.
I think it's actually not that bad on our end. Like we hear
No.
it, but it's not that bad.
It'll probably stop in a few minutes. I'm really sorry about this, but
No, it's
Don't
all good,
apologize
buddy.
to us. Apologize to our little lords listening.
Yes, our edgies.
Our edgies.
yeah. Never did the tattoo thing. All of my very good friends in high school everybody decided to get a tattoo together as like a bonding thing. And I even opted out of that.
Yeah. You know what? I don't want to, I feel like I'm living a lie, but I'm also tatless as well here.
I'm also tatless, and my 40th birthday is coming up in a month, and I think it's my dead. I have a month left to get my first tattoo.
You think you can't do a tattoo after 40?
No.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
You can't rebel against your parents.
Yes.
After 40.
I could see
I don't
that.
know if guests on this podcast are allowed to ask questions, but I'm going to try to ask you a question.
Ooh, edgy
Does
reversal.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau have a tattaue?
He does.
I would bet my life he does.
He does. I've seen many shirtless pics.
Yes.
And
I bet.
it's not specific to him. I always Google world leaders shirtless.
Sure.
That's a
Putin
thing
doesn't
of
give you
mine.
a choice.
Yeah, you really have no shot with Putin.
He buys ad space on Instagram.
That man gets on a horse. He's doing it shirtless. Yes. God bless him. But no, Trudeau does, and it's like if I remember right, it's like something very corny. You know, like almost like not quite a tribal tat, but something of that.
He's
ilk.
like I don't know what they are, but I know that it's Asian writing. I know that there is a yin and a yang somewhere, and like respect.
Just I respect women tattooed on his back. Okay. We're going to keep going. I'm actually going to ask the next one so we can get on track for these. And they'll go from there. Okay, Michael, important question. You are a pro tennis player reaching 864 in the world and famously made $11,000 in your pro career. Who would you rather fight, Pete Sampras or Andre Agassi?
I would rather fight Andre Agassi. That is not even a question. You would think I wouldn't pick Andre Agassi because, as everyone knows, his father was an Olympic boxer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, everyone does not know that.
For Iran. So
really?
Why would I ever fight a man whose father was an Olympic boxer? But if you really dig into Andre Agassi and you read his biography Open, he's really a big pussy. Okay. There's a lot of sentiment in that biography.
Gross.
There's a lot of empathy. There's a lot of thinking of others. And this is the kind of guy that I want to fight.
Yes. That's a man you can take advantage of.
A libtard.
This is a libtard all the way. I mean, who switches endorsements from Nike to Adidas only because Adidas was willing to donate to his high school that he was building for underprivileged kids in the Las Vegas area? To me, that's a pussy that I can beat up.
That's right.
No, 100%. For me, that's why I would pick
Yes.
Nike, who promises to get underprivileged youth to use as forced labor.
Yes.
You know, that's the company I'm behind.
Indonesian.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yes.
That's a real man.
You know, Nike is offering an opportunity, and that's the work opportunity.
That's
The
true.
problem is that these are very young people.
And that's it is well, that's your opinion. As Nike famously their slogan from the early 90s, work will set you free.
Yes, that was there. They workshopped that a little and changed it.
It used to be work will set you free. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
But there was a brainstorm sesh, and they dropped the first part.
I think it was wise. I think it was smart.
Okay.
Pete Sampras is my height.
Yes.
He's Graham's height.
Yeah.
He has extraordinarily long arms.
Okay.
He's not the kind of guy I want to fight.
He's big.
Let me ask you this, though. What if that fight takes place on clay?
Graham loves that tennis reference.
I was good. I don't even know if it's accurate.
I don't think it is.
It's very accurate.
Good. Yes.
It's very, very accurate. Pete would be better to fight on clay than on a
you don't want to be near that man on grass.
Or a grass.
Agassi was a grass man, wasn't he?
Agassi did win Wimbledon, but Pete was a far superior grass court player.
Hot intel.
Intel that your edgelords are into.
Yes. But it is interesting. You were 864th world ranked in tennis. I feel like it's interesting to be ranked in the top 1,000 and something in the world. I think
so.
Yeah.
And don't you kind of wish
Comedy?
that comedy had something that objective where
Yes.
you know what your number is?
Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, I know that. By the way, the ranking you keep mentioning, 864, that was my highest.
Well, we know. Yeah.
That was the best I ever got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there is no subjectivity with those numbers. I can't walk off the court and say, well, I won that tournament. And they're like, no, you lost in the first round, or you didn't even qualify. Whereas in comedy, people can tell you they're great, or
Right.
You know, it's just there's too much. You don't know what the fuck is true anymore. Oh, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yes. We are encouraged to swear on
I
this.
believe it's called the Edgelords.
So, yeah, that I liked how tennis just was like, hey, Kosta, you think you're better than this? Well, then prove us wrong. Oh, you're not better than us. You're 864.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I know 863 people who think differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Michael Kosta, former world ranked tennis player. You're from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to kidnap your governor, how would you do it?
That's a great question. And it's not, I'm trying here to show you and your viewers that I haven't thought of this before.
Yeah.
Smart. But it doesn't help your case that you're nefariously stroking a small animal.
One of my favorite parts about that story, that there was some Michiganders, right-wingers who attempted to kidnap the governor of Michigan, was one of the things that really set them off was that the governor had shut down the gyms.
Really?
Yeah. And you talk about the kettlebells of edginess. These men, and I presume they were men, I don't know if there was a woman
They were men.
part of this group,
They're all men.
were so mad about their gyms being shut down that they thought to kidnap the governor. I just really, and this is great Michigander thinking, who sees something that they dislike in their daily life and immediately thinks, let's kidnap the governor of this state. So do I have a plan? How would I do it? I don't know. I actually think you can just drive up to the governor's house.
Can you, probably not anymore. Maybe that was true 6 months ago. My guess is that's not the case anymore. But well, actually, I do know, because that's I work out mostly by trying to kidnap Governor Cuomo. That is how I get my reps in.
Yes.
They stop me every time, but I do. There's a lot of jogging. There's climbing.
It's your Tough Mudder.
There's squats. It is my Tough Mudder. Yes.
It's just Secret Service agents chasing you through the woods of upstate New York.
That's how I get in shape, and it works for me.
There, you used to be able to drive up to the Canadian Parliament buildings up until the early 2000s, and we were very proud of it, that you could still, just any citizen could literally drive into Parliament and drive like up the driveway and like go to the front steps. And then some angry middle-aged, 50-something-year-old man from the woods just was like, the government stinks, and took his truck and just rammed it through up the stairs, and then through the oak doors, and was like, ah, and now there's
it's
no
just
more
a fortress. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they put little pillars there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there has been a little bit of an uptick in Canadian extremism.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of angry white people in the world, and we're quite white. So there's a lot of guys in the woods pissed off.
Yeah.
And the Proud Boys founder from Canada.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, Gavin McGuinness from Canada. All the Vice people are from Canada. When I worked at Vice, he was on the outs, but he was still there, because they're there's an Indian man Sarush Alvi, and he was like, I don't think I want to work with a supremacist anymore.
Doesn't seem like a good time for me. Yeah.
Talking about entering Parliament, Switzerland has had one mass shooting in 30 years, the last 50 years or whatever, long time. And it was an angry man who, no surprise there, who took his rifle to Parliament.
Just walked into Parliament with a rifle?
Walked into Parliament and started shooting. And of course, they immediately change all the laws and rules and blah, blah, blah. But it is funny that some of these countries, and I would say this as a positive, are so safe and secure, and their citizens are decently educated, that their parliament is open.
Well, what happened in Ottawa maybe 2 years ago now, the guy walked in with a rifle. A separate, not the driver, but a separate incident. There was like a shooting in the parliament. I can't remember if anyone died, but there was like a sergeant at arms, which is in Canada is literally a middle-aged fat guy with one pistol.
Yep.
And he was defending the parliament.
He's the military.
He's like, literally, this is how so we don't. Yeah. Like, you're not allowed to have like automatic rifles or whatever. So the guy came in with like a rifle, just a cowboy rifle, like pachoo, loaded, pachoo, how guns. I don't even
guns
know.
make a totally.
That's my Canadian gun noise.
In Canada, they make a totally different sound.
You don't even get injured if you get shot with a pachoo gun.
It's a sneeze. Someone just sneezes. It just shoots a sneeze in your face. But anyway, it's actually kind of like a bat. He was like hiding. He like got his gun like this, like Bruce Willis, and he was hiding behind a pillar. Just picture like an overweight man, and he had like a bulletproof vest, didn't go over his belly, and he's going like this with this pistol, and then the bad guy's coming this way, and you can hear him, and he like dives backwards, turns around, and he goes and shoots him in midair,
like a John Woo moment.
Yeah, and that's how he did it.
I love that. Doves start flying out from under him. A real strong slow motion bullet time.
It's good he didn't release the doves before he dove, because it would have clued the shooter in that he was coming.
He would have known.
Well, and that's why they're called doves, because he dove.
Whoa.
That's right.
I'm not sure what makes it in the podcast and what gets edited out, but that has to stay in.
Yeah. No, that was never going anywhere.
That is why they're called doves.
This long, rambly conversation about parliaments before it is gone, but we're keeping the dove line. Out of context. Also, I think you could legit like picnic on the like White House lawn until like Vietnam or something. They didn't have a fence up until somewhere in the 60s.
Those godless hippies ruined it.
That's right. Okay, let's get back to this edgy lightning round here, Michael.
Yep.
Now, after being a pro tennis player, you spent some time as a tennis coach.
That's right.
How many rich wives did you bang?
I know that is a wonderful stereotype that all of my friends seem to have upheld, but I did not. You know, I don't, there was one woman that I taught for a while that I thought was throwing me that vibe. And, I didn't
She's
know
my
how
wife
to,
now.
I didn't know how to do that. I failed at that. I mean,
And give him the talk. So when a man and a woman
That's right.
have an attraction to each other,
Yes.
Michael.
Yeah. You say, is this a thing?
I was very focused on changing her forehand. She had a terrible forehand, and she said, we need to work on my forehand. And I taught her, and I said, wow, we really do. And maybe I was missing the innuendo. Mm-hmm. Maybe I was missing the double speak, but I was really trying to help her forehand switch from this weird semi-Western grip to an Eastern grip. I don't have to tell you guys that.
Yeah, I know that,
No, please.
And that lady, Steffi Graf.
Steffi Graf.
Yeah.
Steffi Graf.
Yes. That's why he wants to fight Andre Agassi. Yeah. They're married.
But what is it about tennis that creates this stereotype of sex? And I believe the answer that I have is that you are mixing in a lack of clothing with orgasmic sounds. But I'd like to hear what your thoughts are.
I have very clear thoughts on this. I think because it's kind of thought of as like a wealthy country club sport, and the like imagination is like there's some rich business tycoon man who's with a bored housewife who is taking up tennis. And now she's getting attention from a young, attractive tennis pro. And then she goes home to her pasty CEO husband.
Because you are alone, and you're both attractive.
Yeah.
And you're alone.
Yes.
Together, working on something.
I like that Graham mentioned alone, because
one-on-one.
one-on-one. Not many sports are you solo like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Walter. Am I boring you with this?
His little dog just yawned. It's very cute.
But yeah, there is something about that aloneness together within a fenced-in area.
Ooh,
Fenced in. The pores can't get you. Yes. They're at the gates.
Well, I think there's also just that, like, like helping someone with their golf swing or their tennis. Sure. There's like, you're almost like you have like behind them, the hand on the hand type of
always
thing.
Behind.
There's a lot of that.
You can't teach from the front.
There's a lot of that. At least with my tennis coach.
You're right.
You teach from the front. Now you spoon me. Ooh.
It is funny that golf and tennis elicit these like, oh, hands on the hips, let me work on your swing. But you don't see that some like hockey coach is helping the player with the slap shot that same way.
Just right behind him.
It's because there's too many pants in the way.
There's
layers.
a lot of pads.
There's a lot of pads.
Yeah.
And there's never there's hardly ever like a man teaching a woman. There's never a man teaching a housewife how to play hockey.
There's no skirts involved in hockey. Both golf and tennis, you can find some skirts out on that court, and I mean literal skirts. I'm not some guy from the 50s calling women skirts.
Yeah,
right. But also in tennis, the position of power is in the wealthy person paying the instructor.
Correct.
And oftentimes, Robby, like what you were saying, the wealthy person is this bored, not elder woman, but woman.
Yes.
And she is paying and hiring this young, hot body.
Yes.
And so therefore he is her slave, sexual slave.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet if
is hot. I got a little. My jeans are filling up.
This was probably prior to Yelp, but I bet you would have a lot of 1-star reviews as a tennis coach for not doing your duty of having sex with these women.
I was not on Yelp. Not sure tennis instruction is on Yelp, but if I was, I would have 1 star.
Yep, this is a dereliction of duty. You have a responsibility to have sex with these women, Michael.
Yeah. One would hope you'd have at least 865 reviews. All right. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
All right. Michael Kosta, as someone from Michigan, Kid Rock or Eminem?
Well,
it's an edgy question.
That is edgy. And there was a time when Kid Rock was the more prominent Michigan rapper.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was a rapper, ladies and gentlemen, from Romeo, Michigan. He has a song called Balls in Your Mouth.
What's that one about?
Cruising around town in my jacked up truck, eyes open, because I'm scoping for a big butt slut.
Oh.
One that I can take straight back to my house, have her S my D, and put my balls in her mouth.
He says S my D?
No, he doesn't. I just didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I
don't
get
know.
I get that.
I'm not edgy enough. But so if you're asking 17-year-old Michael Kosta, who's a junior at Ann Arbor Huron High School, I'm going to say Kid Rock, because I thought that was a cool and funny song.
Yes.
But if you're asking 41-year-old Michael, who's recording this podcast from his 1-year-old daughter's nursery, I'll probably go with Eminem. I've always liked his self-awareness and self-deprecation as a hip-hop artist. I thought that was a smart move, and I love that about him.
And the homophobia. You've always said that.
Big fan.
Yeah, Michael Kosta doesn't stop talking about that.
Pardon my ignorance. Does Eminem rap a lot about the homophobia?
He did.
He did.
I think he's apologized.
I don't think he has, because he had that song, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago called Rap God, which was really impressive lyrically, but like he's still dropping that F word often, quite a bit.
Yeah, so he was sort of like, it's interesting because he's like, it's like when you see like a 38-year-old professional athlete and you're like, whoa, he played with, Wayne Boggs. And you're like, it's like he's from a different era, just still active. And like, so like Eminem will come out with a song and do what he knows, it makes a hit.
Right.
But that is the knowledge he is taking from 2003.
Yeah. The world has
Completely changed.
Yeah.
I personally, I would treat the music, the lyrics in the song the same way I would treat a stand-up comic on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And that I would not hold them to the moral standard of those words, per my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think a lot of this is like, half of it is just bullshit, like fantasy almost. Like you're not really like shooting people up in the streets if that's your like thing. You're actually on tour making millions of dollars and like selling merch, so I'm with you on that.
Okay.
I understand and I agree with you, but I also feel like when society changes, it takes the audience out of the fantasy when you use a word that's different now. I used to say that word in high school all the time.
Sure.
It was fun.
Yes, the world has changed since that.
Yeah.
People have evolved. But I'm still going to do my Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky material.
Yes,
I want to make that very clear.
That's what this is about.
Still kills.
That's what this is.
He says it every day. Every day before we start the podcast, you go, sit down, Graham. Now, just so you know, you are not stopping me
from doing my Lewinsky jokes. All right. Michael.
She's a whore, Graham. All right.
Favorite way to shred your bod?
Oh, there's so many ways.
We're going to cut that exhale and just play it on.
The pandemic has got me doing Orange Theory on YouTube.
Ooh.
What's that?
Orange Theory is a very cookie cutter way to high intensity workouts of rowing, and treadmills and floor exercises that I love. And I support Orange Theory, and I am not a paid endorser of Orange Theory. But without a doubt, the easiest way to shred Kosta's bod is to put a ball somewhere within a playing field and tell me to run after it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a golden retriever.
Yes.
I will run after the ball until I am so tired.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way for me to shred my butt.
Yes.
That's great. I have no follow up to that. Just the thought of you prancing in a park, following a wall.
Get it, Michael.
Yes. Go, Michael. He loses it. He looks up confused. Can you be faked out by the fake throw? Or
100% fake throw. Always good.
I think I've done that to you when we played pickup basketball. I've done a fake pass, even though it was 1-on-1. You fell for it.
Isn't that fake move that some players do like this?
Michael Jordan was famous for it.
Yeah,
because he has giant hands, so he could always go hey.
That's imagine being so good at like a professional sport that you can embarrass a professional athlete, and not just like people who are the tip top best. Embarrassing an NBA player at basketball seems insane.
Top 800.
Yeah, truly.
All of them.
They are, yes.
Mm.
How many NBA players are there? Like, would I have been in the NBA?
Well, let's say 30 times 15.
30,
What's that?
Yeah, 30 times 15 is 150, 450.
450. You would not have made it. You would have been.
So would I have been playing in
You're in Greece. Yeah, you're playing over in
Syria.
Greece.
You'd be in Syria.
Syria.
Yes. Yes.
Which I think is a fun life. I would play EuroLeague for a few. I mean, I wouldn't because basketball's not quite my thing. But like bumping around in the European League for a couple years, so much more fun than baseball, where you're like you live in fucking
Chattanooga,
Shittsville, Mississippi. Yeah.
I hate Shittsville, Mississippi.
It's actually nicer than it sounds.
Yeah. It's like Greenland or like Iceland.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nicer.
Iceland nicer than Greenland.
Nicer than Greenland. Anyway, my cousin played professional hockey in Europe, in France, and everything was paid for. Free house, free car, and he was making like $150K, and he was like in the third tier league.
That sounds amazing.
And it was just great.
Yeah. That sounds fantastic.
There's an excellent book, and I forget the author, but it's called "Can I Keep My Jersey?" I think his name is Paul, but it's about a pro player who played on 11 teams in like 7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
and he would sign a 2-week contract with the Cavaliers, and then he would go to Spain for 2 months. And anyways, it's like true grinding pro basketball. And, you know, 1 week you're like now on the Lakers during the playoffs because they need somebody for 10 days.
Right.
Even though you never, ever play ever.
Yeah.
Like no chance you play. And then you're like in Bulgaria as the starting center scoring like 27 points. It's an excellent book. And I know that you finished this podcast with a book recommendation.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes. You're good. Michael Kosta, what is your favorite all-time babe? Man or woman, we don't judge.
We don't judge.
No. We would prefer a woman.
I was actually thinking about this the other day because I noticed the clip you posted, and I forget who the guest was. My apologies, but it was a lot of sitcom references.
Shuli Egar, yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking, who's my babe?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'll go with an obscure one first. The South African tennis player named Amanda Kutzer.
Okay, yeah.
Active now?
It was kind of like the Kornikova before Kornikova.
Gotcha.
She was very cute, excellent tennis player, and just, I don't know, maybe I was also right at the age where I was starting to kind of notice.
What era of tennis was this?
This
what
would have been
90s, early 90s.
90s.
Yeah.
90s.
Anna Kournikova, exact same birthday as me, year and date.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's something that's interesting. And a lot of edgelords probably didn't know that.
That's right. And Allen Iverson.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you'll get to sleep with Enrique Iglesias one day.
One can only hope. Allen Iverson.
So wait.
But I've got to have a better answer than that because no one's going to know who Amanda Kutzer is. All-time babe. I mean, it's right there. I'm sure your guests have said it, but I was the kid who watched the slow motion montage in Baywatch and had to have some uncomfortable feelings within my pants at that same time.
Yes, but there's a lot of there's a harem of ladies to choose from.
Yasmin Bleeth.
Pamela
Anderson.
Yeah.
My answer is going to be the harem of ladies from the Baywatch
Intro.
slow motion montage.
And there's not a bad one in the bunch there.
And if what's his name? David
Hasselhoff?
If Hasselhoff makes it in one of those montages, I'm not backing away.
He's not ruining the mood. He's
not.
You know?
No.
Robby knew where I was going with it and took it, and that's good improv comedy right there, folks.
Here to help. Okay, and finally, favorite.
Are we still in the lightning round?
We are. So it's almost last question.
It's not. It's a
slow lightning round.
It's a slow lightning round.
Lightning moves at lots of speeds.
Yes.
People don't know that.
He's still in the lightning.
I mean, that's one of the most dangerous lightnings. It's the slow one.
It's the slow ones that'll get you. That lightning bolt just discussed Parliament for 6 minutes. All right. Favorite euphemism for sex.
Oh, yeah. Throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
Oh, baby.
That's good.
That is,
I've mentioned that one before.
Yes.
Guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, let's high five
cool.
through this Zoom. In fact, let's
Dudes
get in the car.
having sex.
Get in the car, drive to Costa's place so we can make this high five happen.
Man, dudes rock.
Dudes do rock, yeah. Like our penises are so regular, but your vaginas are huge and gross.
Yes. They're supposed to be 4 inches long and half an inch in diameter. And that's cool.
I actually won't. I'm going to go ahead and say that phrase is more about alliteration than it's just 2 H's. It's nice. It's got a nice little ring to it. But you're right. To break it down does scream of some poor societal norms.
It sure does. It sure does. And it's despicable. I won't stand for it.
And that is edgy. I'm not. Yeah.
That's why I used to say, throwing a hot dog into a hot dog bun with written consent.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
Fits.
That fits perfectly.
Yes. It kind of pokes out the end a bit because it's a little big.
Oh no! Now we've taken it. We've gone past the other side now. Well, We've got some tabulations to do here.
Got red stuff dripping off
Oh
it.
no! Please stop,
I'm sick.
Graham. I need you to stop. We've got some tabulations to do here to see how our man Michael got
That's
between
right.
1 and 5 kettlebells here.
All right, here we go.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Bear with
Yep.
us.
Sorry. He menthol cigarettes. That's good.
Menthol was good. He made up a beer.
Made up a
which I liked.
white
Hefenschweißenweise,
Yeah,
which is good. He's got a tattoo with ink protruding from the body. You rarely see that.
Made me want to puke. I like that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Pro tennis player, not good.
Take out Agassi because he's too empathetic, which I like.
Well, yeah,
Respect.
That's good.
Amazing. You're talking just loud enough so I can hear.
Well, that doesn't. No, we're whispering. We don't know.
We're
shut up.
whispering,
He can't
and
hear this.
we're
Don't
covering
worry.
my mouth.
Don't
I'm
worry
covering
about
my
it.
mouth
He
so
doesn't
you
know what
can't
the fuck-
hear.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Didn't bang a single rich wife. That's gonna lose it. We're docking a point for that for sure.
Right there.
Okay. What is? Oh, well, don't make us look at us. No. That's it. I can't see me when I'm doing this. It ruins it. He managed to quote Kid Rock from memory.
Yeah,
But then edited down to S my D, which was concerning.
Even. That's
Yeah,
an
even.
Yeah, that part was weird.
Shut up.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Favorite way to shredded bod. That was good. The orange thing.
The entire cast of Baywatch
That was
Love
very
that. We haven't
manly.
gotten- I love that.
That might be
Yeah.
2 kettlebells right there.
throwing a hot dog down a hallway, truly disrespectful to women, and you know we love that.
Yes.
So I'm going.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Full 5 kettlebells. 5 kettlebells
Very
from Michael
good. Very
Kosta.
masculine.
Yeah.
Very edgy.
Yes.
Very impressive.
Yes.
Wow.
And that
Would you say that there is a direct correlation between masculinity and edginess?
Well, I think that edgy people would make that correlation.
Right.
that's the right answer. Yes.
Yes.
That is the exact right answer. Yeah. So if edgy people are making it, then it's there.
Then it's
I'll
there.
take it that one step further.
If you say it loud enough, it's true.
That's exactly
which is
how it works.
an edgy person
And,
thing.
Michael, this qualifies you now to join us for our next segment.
Yes.
Scalding hot takes.
Oh, scalding hot takes. Okay.
Yeah. Scalding hot takes.
Yes.
These takes are they're
too hot.
They're too hot for the corporate environment you work in. And you think over at Viacom they're going to let us say this stuff? You got another thing coming. Buddy.
Yes.
Only if the COVID compliance officer allows it.
Exactly. What type of
Viacom cannot take what I'm about to spit.
spit it?
I just ordered a bagel,
Okay.
and I asked if they had light cream cheese, and they had a plethora of cream cheeses. And they said no. And they said, but we can put on less cream cheese for you.
Ooh.
Absolutely bullshit.
Not the same thing.
If the point of living in New York is you're trying to kill me with cream cheese.
Yep.
You put so much cream cheese on in this city. Why you put less on? No, we
agree.
don't have Diet Coke, but we can fill your cup halfway.
Yeah, exactly. Less of the thing.
Fuck
is,
you dumb bitch. That's
less
what
of
I
the thing
say.
is not a solution. Yeah. You give me
I'll
more
kill
of
you.
a thing. You give me more of a chemically worse thing that I tell myself is better for me.
Yeah.
It is a pretty creative solution that they offered to you, though.
Is it a create? Yeah, I guess so.
Is it use less? Doesn't
I
feel
don't-
that creative to me.
Yeah. And I take I take back what I said. I don't want to hurt her at all. I hope she's okay, and I appreciate her working creatively.
Okay. Well, we've walked that back quite a bit.
Yeah. Pretty edgy though.
Pretty edgy.
Yeah.
I'm not yet.
Pretty edgy.
All right, here we go. I've got it. This is a pretty hot
Felt
one
good to
here.
get that off my chest.
I have a lot of cereal takes. It turns out, and this one is no less scorching than any of the others.
About the podcast from 6 years ago?
No, about the breakfast food.
Ah.
And this is if you liked Trix cereal as a kid, you grew up to be a racist.
Yes.
I have
Oh,
no
that's
doubt.
interesting.
There's an entire ad
Even
campaign.
if you're black.
Yes. It was an entire ad campaign based only on exclusion. They were selling this whole product of there's this rabbit who desperately wanted Trix, and they were just like, you can't have Trix.
Right.
Trix are for kids. And he would try to pretend to be a kid. He'd try to fit in, and they were
Thank
just
God
like,
that rabbit was
"Fuck
white."
You, rabbit.
Yeah.
Kids only. And that means you're probably into exclusion. You're a racist.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point.
Yep.
That is a hot take.
Scalding.
Dear God.
What was Trix?
fruit flavored cereal of some kind. I feel like
all Trix was Corn Pops, was Fruit Loops,
They're all the same.
Fruity Pebbles they're all
Yes.
the same, right?
they're all made in one place with the same ingredients with different food colorings and shapes.
Yeah.
Yes, they're all made with Zyklon B.
Yeah, then you absolutely grew up to be very racist.
Very racist.
Yes.
All right. Now, I am tired of people, old people and young people. Nobody middle aged does this. It's very young people, like youths
Okay.
and old people.
Okay.
I am tired of those two groups listening to their headphones, listening to their phone without headphones on the train. And I want to start carrying, buying dollar store headphones. And just walking up to them and going, here. And
How do you think that would work?
Yeah, I've got some questions about that.
let's because okay, go ahead.
I'm not done. I also, before I do that, want to train heavily in MMA.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's necessary.
That's a hot take.
Yeah. And if they say anything, I beat up an old woman, I guess.
Okay. Yes. In fact, if you keep it to just not correcting the young people and the older people, you're going to help your chances of winning these
Surviving?
fights. Yes. I haven't noticed that from old people. I don't think I've ever seen anyone over 25.
They're
doing
always old people watching a polka video, a YouTube polka video or something on the train. And it's just what the hell?
that. Oh, you do live in Greenpoint now.
Yeah, just
I
a
can
bunch
see
of
that.
old Polish
Just
men.
Polish people watch-
This is good.
I've never seen that once.
There is this misconception that just because everything has speakers, or you can buy a speaker that's this big now, that you should be playing that music through those speakers publicly.
Yeah.
This is not for everyone. This is for you personally.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why these things exist.
Yeah.
Yes. Unless you are listening to the Edgelords podcast and then spread the word, amplify it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
You just force it on
one
people.
year. Has Graham K lived 1 year in the same apartment in New York City?
It's a very good question.
Every time I talk to you, I feel like you've moved.
I know I have a problem, but I like to play the market.
I get it. Yeah. He's like an athlete playing on 11 teams in 3 years. All right. I've got another scalding hot take here. Always in the news, we're always dealing with, they're talking about changing the names of Confederate army bases that are named for Confederate soldiers. And it seems like a no-brainer to me to just go ahead and do that. But there's a chunk of the country.
I don't feel that way.
You want Robert E. Lee to have a base.
I think it's cool.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm kidding.
It seems like a no-brainer to me, but I figured out an American solution that I think will satisfy everyone and help our military make a couple bucks as well. I think all of our bases and public schools, for that matter, should be corporate sponsored.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the Meineke Car Care base, Papa John's Elementary School. Let's make a little bit of cash, make everyone happy. No response. Just silent head.
Something
nod.
like Wrigley Field. Everyone just assumes Wrigley Field, Chicago Cubs. No, that is a brand.
That's a brand.
So eventually it'll become Meineke Car Care Bases. People won't even realize that that's a company.
It'll be historic. 100 years, they'll have nostalgia for it. Just like in 100 years, people have nostalgia for the Chick-fil-A Gay and Lesbian Center.
Yes. Yes. Best place to get a chicken sandwich and a mesh tank top in all of the world.
Can I offer a scalding hot take
Please.
that maybe isn't it?
Please, yes.
With these statues, Confederate, and someone explain to me why the answer isn't just make a plaque that describes what an asshole this person was and put that up.
Yeah, I think that's been discussed as a solution. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like
But I guess there's still a statue up, which in
Yeah.
essence
You're still,
is reverential.
Yeah.
You're still a person who is still being affected by slavery from 150 years ago, 200 years ago, and or systemic racism, and you're like have to drive around this roundabout and circle Robert E. Lee on your way to work every day. Just a bummer.
Okay, I've got an idea though.
You know.
I've got an idea that kind of where you don't take the. What if you put the statue in a dunk tank? You know,
Right.
So then it's
Ooh,
there,
that's-
but also if you want to throw a tennis ball and take it out, come on,
A basketball.
everybody
Please.
wins. A dunk tank with a basketball?
That's a good idea.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we fixed this. Another problem solved on the edge,
Solved.
Lord.
And that's an American fix.
That's-
That's got violence and drowning. That's a good one.
Yes,
Yes.
it really is.
And like a state fair thing, which
Yes.
is also an American
Totally,
invention.
it's a good time.
Yeah.
We fixed it.
Great American invention, by the way.
Thank you.
Well,
You got any more hot takes?
I don't think so.
Anything you want to add, Michael?
Let me scroll through my scalding
Yes,
hot take.
please.
I have one maybe hot take here. I was thinking about this on the way. I am a classist, but people are always like, "Oh, that's bad." But class is free. Carrying yourself with class is free. Not if you spit on the street, you should have to not go to jail, but go to like a Chinese type of finishing school. Where a camp where you live for 6 months and they teach you how to be a human.
So your hot take is you are a classist who is in support of re-education camps.
Yes.
Okay.
That's edgy.
Yes.
That's truly edgy.
Not if you're like a Muslim Uyghur, but like if you spit on the street.
Okay, yeah. Are there other examples of things?
You clip your toenails on the subway.
Oh, that one I get, yeah.
In the height of the pandemic, you wear your mask below your nose. We all see what you're doing.
What about just your good old standard litter?
Littering?
I see it.
Yes.
I see a lot of that, and that's infuriating.
Tell you what, you should move to Singapore. You would love it there. This is exactly the
Order!
thing. Yes.
Yes.
No one spits on the floor.
No one
truly.
spits on the. Yeah.
Because they will lose their family. But they're not doing it.
They'll
It
get
works.
caned or something.
They really will, yeah.
I don't want anyone to get caned.
I've been there. It's a bizarre place.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful and clean and nice, but
You can
also
the state can only cane people when everyone is the same race.
You know how when you get into if you get into a cab in almost any city, there's a chance like the cab driver will be like, the fucking mayor, the city's a mess because of we literally in the cab from the airport to our hotel, the taxi driver was telling us how much they love the president.
Oh my god.
And you're like, oh yeah, this is fucking not good. Things
Weird.
are pretty weird here.
That's bad.
Yeah. All right, hot take, Michael.
I don't have any hot takes.
Great. You already had one.
You had one. You're good. We're
you
gonna
were-
edit out that interaction just for you. We're gonna replace that with the heavy breath from earlier.
Yeah.
Actually, my hot take is that congratulations for you two for editing a podcast. I can't believe you do that. That is not easy.
Yes. Yeah. It's a nightmare. But if we didn't, it would be us talking about different parliamentary attacks for hours on
Yes.
end. We have no choice.
I remember when we first started doing this podcast, we would edit, and it was just us. And at one point, Robby looked at me and goes, "I wouldn't listen to any of this."
That's how you know it's a good podcast, because you can't judge your own work. You have no clue.
It's really
you
hard.
think you know, you cannot tell.
Yeah, you have to listen. These were the early episodes that never aired.
Yes.
but-
Yeah. We taped a lot of test
I would not
episodes.
listen to minutes of things.
Just listening to us ramble like idiots with no structure.
Nothing.
We finally got the hang of it, but it was rough at first. Okay. Before we drop off then, Michael, do you have any advice for us on how we can be more edgy?
Yes, please.
Oh man, I mean, I think you're both. It made perfect sense when you started this podcast, because I had always told everyone I knew these are the two edgiest guys I know.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, it made perfect sense. So I'm not going to sit here and try to give you edgy advice other than don't back down when this world tries to soften you up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You
Stay hard.
You
Poetic.
dig your Carhartt boots
Yes.
into the ground and you stay edgy and loud and truthful.
Michael Kosta, thank you for fixing America.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Dude, this was awesome. Thank you so much for doing it, dude. We appreciate you.
Yeah, you're great. And
Thanks, guys.
And Walter was
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
He wants to say bye. Hold
Yes, have Walter say bye.
on. Oh, there you go, buddy. Say goodbye to these guys.
Bye, Walter.
they're
Bye, Walter.
Super edgy, guys. Super edgy.
the best.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Are we
man.
saying goodbye?
Yes, we are saying goodbye. And let's see if you have anything to plug or whatever, you're welcome to, and we can put that in as well.
How about everyone should listen to my Tennis Anyone podcast?
Yes.
Yes.
It's super edgy. We sometimes talk about tennis, and it's where you listen to podcasts. So thank you. And tweet this to me, and I'll retweet it and all that good stuff.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing it.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Bye.
See ya.
That was Michael Kosta.
That was Michael Kosta. A lot of people think that we look the same.
You and him?
Yes.
I could see it a little bit. Yeah.
When I first got past the Comedy Cellar, the staff was like, "Great to see you." I was like, "Okay."
Okay, thank you.
Took
Yeah.
me a second. Yeah, I always have to dress. I mean, I do dress differently, but if I am shaven
Uh-huh.
and my hair is cut,
Yes.
we have the same height and build.
You do have the same height and build. Yeah.
And
There's similarity there for
Yeah.
sure. I could see that.
Mhm.
But he's wonderful. I would say give his podcast a listen.
yes, Tennis Anyone.
Tennis Anyone, and you can see him on the Daily Show. 4 nights a week, I guess.
Yeah, he's been doing some really funny stuff lately.
He's great, man.
Yeah.
Costa is great. And you know what? You're great.
Okay.
And to our edgies out there, the little lords, you're great too.
You're great too. I'd like to say check out my website for show dates. I've got some tours coming up. I got some
Tours.
touring around, but it's grahamk.com. And also, if you are new to the show, follow me on Instagram at InstaGrahamK.
You can get me on Instagram and Twitter. It's just Robby Slovic, ROBBY SLOWIK.
Very good. And also, make sure that if you're listening to this right now and you had a good time listening to it, we would like you to scroll to the bottom of your little app there and give it 5 stars and leave a little review. And if you don't, as always, Robby, what'll happen?
Graham will kill himself.
I will kill my fucking self.
Yeah.
I will fucking kill
Okay,
myself.
Calm down. Calm down, Graham.
Do it!
No, let's just tell the people what we tell them every week as we end this podcast.
Fuck you.